All right, welcome back to the second half of the first game of the day. Denver Roller Derby standbys against 10th Mountain Roller Dolls. 10th Mountain in the lead with 110, Denver with 88.
Yeah, 10th Mountain had some great lead jam rotations that happened right at the end of that first half, and it really extended that lead. It's been a very close game otherwise.
A lot of lead changes. We did find out that at the end of that half, 10th Mountain had 71% lead. Denver with 29%. Pink Flamingo with 100% lead. Little Ninja was very close. Also had 100% until she served a penalty in the very last jam. There's only been one jam with no lead. And the pendulum swings again. Boo Tees, number 4 for Denver, picks up lead in the first jam of the second half. Dai, number 38, with 10th Mountain hot on her heels.
10th Mountain does have 2 blockers in the penalty box. They're going to start the next jam at a disadvantage on the defensive side. Boo Tees puts up 4 points at the end of that jam.
Whack for 10th Mountain on the line. X for Denver. Denver setting up with a strong tripod of defense in the back. Dai was up in the front to play but with some great jukes and a very quick run up on the outside lane. X does pick up lead as Whack is still held on her initial. X has a fancy spin on the inside line, picks up 4 points as Whack is now out of the pack on her initial, or completed her initial.
An attempt at an apex jump, Evil X falls and is being sent to the penalty box on a track cut penalty.
X picking up 4 points. Pack advantage still to Denver with 1 10th Mountain blocker in the box. Vicious Kitty.
Whack does have an opportunity to extend the lead a little bit here. Really using that edge work to cut through a very long Denver pack. They were separated, and so 4 more points for She's So Whack.
We ended the first period with a 2-minute jam, no lead. Points put on the board for both teams, and we're starting up. There was a lead, but another 2-minute jam.
Number 316 for the standbys. Dai Darlin had some beautiful catches right at the front of that wall. Right as 10th Mountain's jammer was going to come through, she caught her twice and made her recycle all the way to the back of the pack.
Nice hit by Evil X. Looks like number 31, Little Debbie Smack Cake, had turned her side to X for a block. X counter hit her and dropped her right to the ground.
That jam will end pretty even outside of each team having a blocker in the box. Both jammers put up 12 points.
Yeah, then looks like Denver is tightening up their jammer rotation. They've got Ponicello out here again. We just saw her on the first jam of this half, up against Pink Flamingo.
Pink Flamingo with that 100% lead jammer percentage. And it ends right now as it is Ponicello in the lead jammer role.
That pep talk in the halftime,
it worked.
Really worked for Denver. It's been 100% lead this half for Denver. Ponicello tries to do a little bit of an apex hop, turn, spin, gets tripped up, picks up and starts to advance her position to pick up a cut call. Sometimes when you get that little bit of a spinny, hoppy move, you don't know what really caused you to fall, if you stepped out or if it was an opponent. In that case, it looks like she had stepped out of bounds.
Pardon me. Having a little bit of a throat guy right now. Pink Flaming Bell puts up 4 points for 10th Mountain.
This half has already been pretty much point for point between both teams. Pink slices in the middle of that tripod, takes down a few of the opponents, and picks up another 4 points.
Excuse me.
There's been something going around.
Yeah, I took
fall.
a sip of water and it definitely went down the wrong tube.
Oh, I thought you were coming down with the coldness that's been sweeping over Colorado the past week.
Colorado has had a lot of funk in the air, lots of individuals going down. That was a very penalty-heavy. This jam has been very penalty-heavy for blockers particularly.
Exactly, as Cherry's just released for the penalty box, so full strength.
This is the first time in the 2 minutes that both packs are at full strength. So,
and
very short-lived.
Yeah, very short-lived.
Somebody else is in the penalty box, number 81. Vicious Kitty.
Highest scoring jam, now tied for both teams. Pink had closed out the first half with 16 points as the highest scoring jam.
Yep.
But Ponticello and Pink both put up 20 points on that jam. So
They were just
work.
moving through, and that in part was that both teams were very penalty heavy.
Absolutely.
In that particular jam.
When your defense gets broken up like that, it causes you to lose your, ability to play offense. But the Jammers did a really good job. I mean, other than picking up a couple penalties themselves, they played very safe. They played very strong, with limited help from their walls. But the walls did a great job with defense. I mean, they were able to match offense and defense, strengths, when they could.
We are in a team timeout as 10th Mountain is strategizing right now on their bench. Current score, 10th Mountain 142 points. Denver roller derby standbys 124 points. That was a lot of action for 6 minutes.
It was. It was definitely starting off the second half. I mean, strong. Both teams are really going for that win, especially from last year. Such a close game. I'm glad to see a repeat of it because it keeps it exciting.
It sure does. What a great way to start day two.
Yeah. I hope this carries over, into the afternoon and evening. We've got a lot of great games to follow. So
stay tuned, everyone, especially as this is our first game of our tournament.
Yep.
We have a few other teams, Oklahoma Victory Dolls. We have the Roughnecks who are playing in the next game. It's going to be a fun little tourney here as we have some preview games for our champs throughout the weekend.
Yep. Last night was a great preview of it.
2 wonderful games. Julia Gulia, number 476, is your lead jammer for the standbys. Frost, Bite Her, taking the star. I believe that was a star pass.
And Denver has had still a 100% lead. And Julia Gulia loses lead now as she is sent to the box. Another 2-minute jam.
Every time we try to highlight that lead jammer percentage, something happens on the
curse.
track.
The announcer curse. We're doing it. It's happening.
Froster with a great hit to break apart that Denver wall. That long pack tightens up as Frost is coming through, sneaks on the outside, puts up another 4 points. A little bit of a collision with 3 blockers on the Denver wall, and number 149, Claymore, who took essentially all of them out at once. Wonderful defense.
I do remember Frost last year. I think this is her second season as a pivot that I've watched her, at least maybe years prior, but I've seen her take passes, and she has got the longevity now. She's very smart, very safe. I mean, you definitely don't want to go to the penalty box as a pivot turn jammer and start it again the next jam. So she does a good job of just taking her time and collecting points.
The 4 blockers for Denver have really locked it down towards the end of this jam. Frostbite Her has essentially moved in 30 seconds a turn. Things are starting to speed up now that Julia Gulia has re-entered the track. Puts up 4 points as she sneaks back on 10th Mountain, though. Frostbiter, a great jam. 16 points for 10th Mountain.
Amazing. 158 for 10th Mountain, 132 for Denver. 10th Mountain has pulled away, continuing to have a higher point ratio on the board.
A little bit of penalty trouble for the jammer rotation for the standbys.
Looks like Missy Enigma jamming for standbys, and then that is Die for 10th Mountain.
And Miss Enigma is through on their initial pass. Die finally getting that jam that she wanted to put it together and keep Denver at 0 points. The past couple times that Die had been on the track, there had been a little bit of penalty trouble, or there was a little bit of a foot race, and so Denver would sneak in and get those points. It was a wonderful, clean jam for Diane Grenade.
Yeah, and she took away Denver's 100% lead for this half.
She's so whack jamming for 10th Mountain. Evil X jamming for the standbys. Both jammers, a little bit of a hop, and we are to the races.
They got out, almost the exact same time. Whack with a little bit of an advantage of Pick's lead. Calls it off. Time to reset. Denver still with Lady Woody in the penalty box. Pack advantage for 10th Mountain to start this jam.
Looks like there's some chatter on the chat about what food truck we have outside of the venue. Food is very important on tournament days for both the skaters and the spectators.
Absolutely, and I think we will see different food trucks throughout the weekend, kind of rotating in shifts to give a good variety.
I had a lovely Chicago dog yesterday from the food truck that was here. Pink Flamingo is your lead jammer.
Ponicello with star in hand, still being held up just before turn 2. Pink jumps over everyone, picks up 4 points. Oh, but she had illegal contact. Here she may have made contact with someone when she did that apex jump. So another 2-minute jam. Pack advantage for Denver as Shell on Wheels is in the box with Pink.
Farm and Charlotte just did a wonderful job of pinning Meg to that inside of the track. Everybody had a blocker.
Yep.
They split them apart. And look at how fast Booties is able to get through to score.
Just a little help from your friends.
I love beautiful offense. I will comment on it every day.
Oh, it's amazing. Pink out of the penalty box finishes that scoring pass for 4 points. These two jammers again just matching point for point.
Mm-hmm. Farm and Meg are just shoulder to shoulder in a defensive lockdown right now, trying to battle each other to pin each other to keep them from re-engaging with each pack. Right now it looks like Farm's going to use that to her advantage to try to help Booties through on that scoring pass, but Booties is hit to the inside along with Pink Flamingo. Both recycled to the back of the pack as the pack stretches out a little bit, and we hit the end of that jam. Once all the points are put up, 16 to 15, just 1 point separating. That was another high-scoring jam, lots of action.
These jammers have really done a great job. You don't see a lot of those high-scoring jams, as often as you did in old Derby, 2015, 2014 Derby. Especially with the point calculation change. No more jammer points.
No more jammer points. Ninja on the track again for 10th Mountain. Biddy is your lead jammer for the standbys. Standbys, obviously, that halftime speech was great. They really secured a good majority of the lead. Jammer percentage here in the second half.
He calls it off, does pick up 3 points. No points for 10th Mountain. Kind of maintaining roughly about that 20-point spread. 151 on the board for Denver, 177 for 10th Mountain. 10th Mountain does have a comfortable lead, but anything they were close to 20 points. That's one good jam, as we've seen already several times.
Evil X jamming for Denver, Diane Grenade jamming for 10th Mountain. A little bit of jammer contact right off the line. And again, as we hit the middle of the straightaway, but Diane Grenade is going to the penalty box for a track cut. Both pivots for both teams also in the penalty box, along with another blocker for 10th Mountain. And another blocker being sent to the penalty box for Denver. So just a couple of people on the track.
Nice control by X. She draws to the outside, takes a very small lane to get around one blocker, and that last blocker comes in for a very good calculated hit, but X stops. Complete stops on the track and able to send the blocker flying right in front of her. Completes her second scoring pass. This is a great opportunity for Denver to close up that point spread. Apex hot by X brings her to 12 points in this jam.
Diane Grenade has re-entered a hard hit as she engages with that Denver defensive wall.
Yeah. She found farm fresh.
And usually that's great, but not in that case.
No.
Whereas there was a lot of speed at the start of the jam, both of the blocking crews have really started to slow down both of those jammers.
Denver got spread apart a little bit there, but did a good job coming back together and maintaining control of Die. X now with 4 scoring passes.
X is being sent to the penalty box for a track cut after quite a few good passes, 16 points that she had put up since this jam started, but it's going to be a power start for 10th Mountain as this jam comes to an end. Diane Grenade did not score any points during that jam, so that was the jam that we talked about. We were to narrow that gap, only a 10-point differential between our two teams.
So 2 start passes in total the producers are filling us in, and both to 777. That is Frostbite Her, which we talked about a little bit earlier. She's definitely a great pivot.
Whack takes the inside line, sprints to be able to get that lead jammer position. A great hit to the outside by Dai Darlin, who's had some wonderful defensive efforts today.
Wax on opening on the out, thought she had it, and Tagchilsky just nice solid hip hit, sends her out. But Wack quickly back in, little mini apex hop.
Evil X back on the track, through on their initial pass as well.
Oh, looks like there was a penalty to Wack.
It's going to be a power start for Denver now.
Such a good game.
Going to have the opportunity to even that score. 181 for 10th Mountain, 168 points for the Denver Roller Derby standbys. 12 minutes left in our game for our kickoff game today.
Frost with a good hit to the inside to Missy, but Missy finds an opening on the out, picks up lead.
Farm Fresh sent to the penalty box.
Just as push-up brawl from 10th Mountain exited the box. A little bit of a rotation. Denver's defense sitting up in the back as they see Wack is sitting in the penalty box, now released. Missy completes the scoring pass, picks up 4 points.
Wax sneaks her around. The inside is through on their initial pass. The box is clear for Denver now. Some smart gameplay by Miss Enigma. Some good awareness.
Good awareness.
Calls off the jam. Puts up 3 points at the end of that. A 7-point jam for Missy. So many apex jumps. Indeed, that is the next chatter on the chat. And a comment that Pink Flamingo loves her apex jump. She does.
She really does.
And it's beautiful
It
every
is.
time.
I never knew when I would apex jump until I saw pictures, post-game pictures. And it's not something I practice, but something that occasionally happens.
My announcing partner, Coyote, not only does she moonlight as a roller derby announcer, but she is also our bout manager for the day. So there's a little bit of chatter happening next to me as we are trying to make sure that everybody enjoys Thin Air Throwdown 2019. So you were mentioning about apex jumps as we are in this team timeout.
Oh, yeah. Like some jammers are so great about practicing it and setting it up, but I closed my eyes and did it occasionally. It can be scary, but it's fun.
During my playing years, I was primarily a blocker, but there was one practice where my coach was convinced that they were going to teach me how to do one apex jump. That was the end of my apex jump career in roller derby. And it is Booties that is your lead jammer for the Denver Roller Derby standbys. Pink Flamingo had a very successful first half, has seen her 100% percentage for lead jammer go away. And after one scoring pass, Booties calls off the jam.
And we are just a few points away on the scoreboard now. 181 for 10th Mountain, 179 for Denver. I did see that Denver tightened up their jammer rotation a little bit here. You know, they relied on Biddy, Missy, and Evil X as well as Ponticello. And Ponticello especially, I've seen her, every few jams. So smart move, and it reflects on the scoreboard.
Some wonderful track awareness from the jammer rotation for Denver. Ninja on the line for 10th Mountain. Biddy, your lead jammer for the standbys.
I get excited seeing new skaters just being so successful, with their new teams. It takes time to kind of build in those relationships, but Biddy has done a great job today relying on her offense, and working well with them, setting them up for success to get her in positions to break free of the pack.
Biddy is very vocal on the track, which is always really nice, and I think that's what gives her offense those cues to be able to be where they need to be. Little Ninja headed to the penalty box for a forearm penalty right at the end of that jam as Biddy calls it off, so it's going to be another power start for Denver. They took the lead.
Lead change again.
Your current score, 183 points for the standby, 181 for 10th Mountain. Only 9.5 minutes left. Evil X, some wonderful shoulder hits to just break apart that defense for 10th Mountain.
There's been 3 scoreless jams for 10th Mountain in a row, so let's see what they do for this jam. If X and the standbys can keep that momentum going. So far, so good. Ninja released from the penalty box. X with a hop completes her second scoring pass.
Ninja has re-entered the track, and there is a star pass with Pivot Vicious Kitty.
She actually was a part of Team Colorado this last couple of years. This year she was on the roster. Last year she was an alternate, but so I got the chance to skate with her. She's very fun, and she's definitely very good at being a pivot turn jammer. She's very reliable. You can depend on her to go for that full 2 minutes as she completes her first scoring pass.
Evil X continuing to extend her success in this jam. 16 points so far, 48 seconds left in this jam, so we are going to probably see some point increases from both jammers as they continue to break apart both of those walls.
So while Denver's not going to keep 10th Mountain scoreless this jam, they are running the jam long to really continue to try to pick up some points. 20 points on the board already for X, 8 on the board for Vicious, who's done a great job.
Number 71, Tchaikovsky, just gets her hip right in front of Vicious Kitty to make her recycle back.
Both jammers struggling with a little bit of fatigue, but I mean, with less than 10 minutes in the game and the long jams we've seen these jammers go through, I'm not surprised.
I would say that was a pretty successful jam for Denver, 23 points, but 10th Mountain puts up 12 right at the end of that as well.
Absolutely. Highest scoring jam goes to X so far for the game.
And now we are in an official review being requested by 10th Mountain. Some conversation happening in the center of the track. And I think it's time to give a quick shout out to Death and Glory Skate Shop, set up in facility today, but they are a new quad shop and gear website, bringing more derby fun and skate fun to Colorado and all of North America. Death and Glory has had years of boot fitting experience and offer a fun, relational experience every time. Visit their booth if you're in-house at Thin Air Throwdown, or check them out at deathandgloryskate.com.
We have a lot of great sponsors this weekend, and it's fun to see Death and Glory here. They're actually one of the newer sponsors, for the Denver area and to Thin Air Throwdown. We always want to thank our vendors for, showing their support and allowing us to support them as well.
Especially as Colorado is going to be the center of roller derby for a couple weeks.
Oh, yes.
I don't know if you heard, but there's a royal wedding going on in roller derby next week.
Yes, I'm so excited for it.
And then we have B-Champs.
Correct.
That's going the great B-Team Skate-Off is coming to town.
Yep.
And then the MURTA National Championship is going to be in town the week after.
So much good roller derby.
So much good roller derby. How lucky we are.
I know. And
not just here in Colorado, but we'll be driving around Colorado a little bit. Luckily, we have 5-on-5 media to be able to help bring you all some great derby this weekend. And as we move forward next week.
Every week following, 5-on-5 will be providing live stream for all these events. The Altercation Elevation, Great B Team Skate Off, and MRDA Jams.
We are back to roller derby. Miss Enigma has had a very successful half. Is lead jammer for the standbys. As you mentioned, that jammer rotation for Denver has just cleaned it up significantly in the second half. They're having great success.
And they have a very large pool to pull from, and all of their jammers have, obviously individual strengths and have shown great success in this game alone. But to really tighten it up, smart coaching decisions, and it's good for the team.
There was a star pass at the end of that jam for 10th Mountain Frostbiter taking the star. It was able to make contact in the back of the pack, but did not gain any points.
4 points for Denver. Now they're starting to pull away on the board with 210 and 10th Mountain with 193. That's the 5th lead in a row for Denver. So you see that. I mean, Denver or 10th Mountain in the first half definitely had that string of lead after lead after lead, and then Denver, kind of picked that up. It looks like now that stretch has been broken. Whack picks up lead. Biddy going to the box for illegal contact. And that's back to good roller derby because now the scoreboard, who knows what will happen at the end of this jam.
This has been a very close game.
It's definitely still anyone's game, too.
Dai Darlin and Tchaikovsky being sent to the penalty box.
The last few jams left, they really need to clean up that play, keep their skaters on the track right now.
And here comes She's So Whack. 8 points so far in this power jam as Biddy has re-entered the track. Only 5 points separating this team at this point. Both jammers are on the track. They are trying to move as hard as they can, but it is number 11 with a catch at the front. Peterson, captain for the standbys.
There's a little bit of conversation, and at the end of that jam, Biddy's jam ref was informing her that when you hold your star, when you hold your cap in your hand, you have to have it visible. You have to have the star visible. Biddy did a good job of, receiving that information, adjusting, and then quickly getting out to force the call off there. Now we are 1 point away. 16-point jam.
My
1
goodness.
point. 4 minutes left.
Pink Flamingo on the line. Booties jamming for the standbys. Booties, no resistance, is in the lead jammer position.
Definitely a good matchup with Pink successful first half.
Oh, almost a hit. If she had continued that hit, it would have been sensational. She came all the way from the straightaway in between the turns and like a bullet. Made that contact but didn't quite get her all the way.
Just like a bullet. Yeah, that precision, it was great. The follow-up with the strength finds it right there. But Pink is a very strong jammer too, so it takes a lot to take her off track. 4 points on the board for Denver, 2:14 to 2:09. Just over 3 minutes left, and I'm really excited. These last few jams, I can feel the anxiousness building up.
Past 3 jams, only 5 points separating the two teams. We've had 2 lead changes in that, so it's been pretty exciting.
X with lead. Looks like Ninja has the star in hand. Excuse me, now I'm getting it. Frogginess going on over here. Oh, another Apex hot by X. But star pass to Vicious Kitty, which we did see a few jams ago, picking up 8 points. She's definitely a threat with that star on. X just wiggling her way through the pack, doing a good job staying in the middle.
Vicious Kitty puts up 4 points for 10th Mountain.
Looking over at the standbys bench, you can see their coaches moving around. There's a little bit of nail biting going on there too.
Everybody is on the edge of their seat right now. Both jammers putting up points. Only 4 point advantage in this jam so far. In the first minute of this jam.
X doing a good job. She saw that tripod very open, very wide. So with a little bit of a juke, she was able to kind of shift the brace over, break the seam, finishing the jam with 16 points, 8 on the board for 10th Mountain. Again, Vicious Kitty doing a great job taking that pass and quickly picking up some points.
Miss Enigma jamming for the standbys. Pink Flamingo. A little bit of a change as they recognize that we only have about 1:47 left in this game. May extend depending on some jam time. Pink Flamingo, Farm, and Charlotte. And number 23, Lady Woody, just doing a great job of holding Pink Flamingo back.
Oh, Ponticello, Booties, out for lead. She's holding the side of her face. Looks like she may have taken a little bit of contact. And Pink Flamingo is sent to the penalty box on a back block. Bench directs her to call it off. Just a minute over. A minute remaining on the clock.
This may be the strategy that cements that win for Denver if the score holds up at this point. Pink Flamingo is going to be starting this last jam in the penalty box.
Now with them having starting this jam with Pink in the box, calling that jam, it really could go both ways. You could have ran that jam on, Pink picking up some points maybe. Bootie's obviously been one of the strongest jammers of the game, letting her run it out point for point like we've seen them do. But they did put Missy on. Great fight, smart play, picks up lead. Her bench is telling her, play it safe, play calm, stay in the middle. You don't have long to go. Pink is standing in the penalty box. 4 points picked up by Missy.
And now, lots of communication happening on the bench for Miss Enigma. Pink Flamingo is through on their initial pass. Lots of chatter. Miss Enigma calls off the jam, and that may do it. We're going to wait for some official scores.
It looks like in that half. So in the first half, we saw a 21% lead for Denver, 79% lead for 10th Mountain. What a shift in the game. Denver had 75% lead that second half.
Fantastic.
That halftime pep talk was great. The team came, both teams, such a great demonstration of skill, of endurance, strategy, everything. They just way to match it up there in that, with these two teams. But final score 241 to 217. Denver with the win.
This is how you want to get started on day 2 for Thin Air Throwdown.
Good job to both teams. Thank you for joining Rue and I at My Name Against Coyote. We'll look forward to seeing and hearing from you guys for the rest of the weekend. Please continue to join us for the following games. What do we have next, Rue?
So our next game is going to be Boulder County Bombers versus the Roughnecks. So this is going to be a fun one.
Boulder County Bombers, one of the 2 hosts for the weekend. Denver Roller Derby as well. So we just saw one host victorious at the end of their first game. So we'll be excited to see what happens with Boulder following.
Yep, Roughneck from Tulsa, Oklahoma. They've not played any of the teams here at Thin Air Throwdown, so I personally am really excited to see what Tulsa's going to be bringing to Colorado today.
Yeah. Well, thank you again for joining us. We will catch you guys later on in the weekend.